against the rocky shore. Just off-center was the Surrey Woods Lighthouse. The old tattered lighthouse's light was still visible, a reflective coin on the drab horizon. Sort of made you want to catch the red-eye to the Bahamas. On that note, I went to the kitchen, cranked the heat to Bahamian, and opened the freezer. There were 5 boxes of waffles, regular, buttermilk, cinnamon toast, blueberry, and strawberry. I know, I have a problem. Hi, my name is Thomas, and I'm addicted to waffles. Hey, lego my ego. As my waffles toasted, I started a cup of water heating in the microwave. I opened the front door and scampered the 10 steps to the paper. It was already half drizzling, half snowing, and I had a feeling the storm was 6 hours ahead of schedule. I sat down to the waffles and a cup of steaming apple cider and read the paper. You can tell a lot about a person by the way they read the paper. I was a comics, sports, weather, front page, Dow Jones, jumble kind of guy. Alex had been a front-to-back kind of gal. Maybe that's why it hadn't worked out. I retired back to the couch and turned on football. Detroit and Minnesota. One of them was winning. I was looking forward to John Madden's Turkey Leg Awards, but it turns out he wasn't doing the game this year. Shucks. I picked up a different remote and hit the stereo. Some stupid Shania Twain song was playing. You know the one I want for life. And I couldn't move. I couldn't even think. I stress almost, started crying. And I'm fairly certain if there had been a gun in the house, I would have shot myself through the heart. I turned the stereo off. So there I was, about an hour into my 33rd Thanksgiving, and it had already proven to be the worst yet. Well, the first one after my parents' death was awful, but this one was giving it a run for its money. I packed a bag, turned the heat off, hit all the lights, and recorded a new phone message. When I pulled the front door open, I was hit by a wall of cold. It was officially snowing now, and everything that wasn't made of concrete was white. I took 2 steps, then froze. I pressed my ear to the door. The phone rang 3 more times before the answering machine picked up. If this is Lacey, I'll call you in a couple days. If this isn't Lacey, stick the phone in your mouth and swallow it. Hi, Thomas. It's me. Listen. It was Alex. I panicked. I couldn't find my keys. Then I couldn't find the right key. By the time I got the door open, Alex was long gone. I made my way to the answering machine and peered down at the blinking red light. Time for a real gut check. I took a deep breath, picked up the machine, and threw it against the wall. I'd clean it up when I got back, if I ever got back. 2 hours later, I was at 37,000 feet, headed for Seattle. Chapter 2. The cross-country journey from Bangor International to Chicago O'Hare and on to SeaTac took about 7 and change, but I gained 3 hours during the flight, so when I landed, the local time was just after 3 in the afternoon. The weather was typical Seattle November. Overcast, gloomy with a light drizzle. No blizzard in these parts. Old Man Winter in the Northwest had Alzheimer's. He got lost a lot, mostly in Canada. I hailed a taxi for the 18-mile trip north to Magnolia. A bit of Magnolia lore here. In 1856, Captain George Davidson of the U.S. Coast Survey named the southern bluff overlooking Puget Sound for the magnolia trees growing along it. Had he been a better botanist, he would have clearly recognized the red-bark trees as madrones. The madrone is a shiny, dark green-leafed evergreen species that thrives on west-facing bluffs. The trees, which can reach heights of 90 feet, usually have a twisted wind-blown shape. Anyhow, the surrounding community preferred the name Magnolia to madrone and decided to keep Magnolia to identify the affluent, well-ordered waterfront properties. My parents' house, I still had a problem calling it my house, was built on the westernmost bluff overlooking Puget Sound. It was too steep to build anywhere near the house, so there wasn't anything within a quarter mile in either direction. The main concern was landslides. The wet soil building up over time, the vegetation slowly losing its tenacity in the soft earth. It was a miracle the house hadn't slipped into the Sound years ago, as many of its brethren had. The house was built in 1964. It was a monolith then, a work of art. But then, so once was the Coliseum. When my parents bought it, they began a slow overhaul, gutting it from the inside out. There had been plans for a total facelift, a new kitchen, hardwood floors, upgraded plumbing. But my parents never got around to it.